What's up, what's up? Yes, this is a beautiful day. So we just want to go over just a few points of our experience here in Ghana. A lot of people have been asking us about coming here and what it takes to stay here. And I want to share some more information with you guys because it can happen for you. You most definitely could come here, make a life for yourself. It is nice in Ghana. But I'd like to share with you the pros and the cons about the whole situation. So number one, I want to discuss a little bit about the safety. You will hear people say that Ghana is a safe country, it's a nice country to be in, it's safe for your children, it's safe for families. That is true. Ghana is a safe place. At the same time, one thing I dislike about Ghana is that there's petty theft. There's a lot of petty theft, or you want to call it petty theft. The thievery, it's a growing issue in Ghana. So that's why I dislike. So those of y'all coming over here, make sure your stuff is, packed, secured. If you could come here with a cell phone clip, make sure your cell phones and your cell phone clip underneath your shirt. Just keep your things secure. Just properly secured.
We had a situation that occurred with us where all of our equipment was on the table in our bedroom and it was close to the window. And at night when we were sleeping, some robbers, they went through the bars of the window and took our MacBook, our laptop, 2 iPhones, and hard drives. I woke up and I remember I didn't see it and I'm thinking, John, did the kids take it out of the room? Where did you put it? I'm thinking he put it up. And I just remember John stood up like, all right, Sophia, he knew what happened, and it didn't compute that people literally came through the bars of our window and took all our stuff, because all our work was up there, all that we worked for, and it was devastating. So that was taken and I was blown away. I was ready to go home that day. I never experienced anything like that in my life. So that was different.
That happened last year? Beginning of last year?
Yeah, the beginning of last year. But when we first arrived in Ghana the first time, the taxi driver drove away with our Mac. But because of our landlord, our landlord was married to a policeman at the time, and she was able to call him up and threaten him. And he had to get threatened, she threatened the crap out of him, and He literally came back, and he was upset. He was upset at us that he had to come back and bring us our Mac. Wow. I remember, and my husband was so upset because he had to dash him, give him some money. I think you gave him how much?
I gave him a little something because it was a guy who lives in Ghana who was helping us out, get situated. And he came to me, he's like, yeah, just dash him a little something. I'm like, what? I didn't understand that. He was like, just, you know what, for no trouble, just go ahead, let's give them a little something. It was nothing big at all. You know what I mean? It was
what was it?
It was 40 CDs, which is $10, but it was just it
why do
burned
I have
me.
to give a thief something?
And I told her, I said, you know what? I said, only because of you. I said, you're from here, you know better than me. I said, other than that wouldn't be happening, man. So I just humbled myself and I did it and did what he said. So, but what happened in the beginning was we left our computer in the taxi's driver's trunk.
Yes, we left it in the trunk of the taxi driver.
He didn't know though.
He didn't. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he didn't know. The taxi driver didn't know until we called him up because we just so happened to have.
No, let me tell you what happened because our friend at the time, he called up the taxi driver and said, hey, we left a MacBook in your trunk. And I looked at him, I said, why did you say that?
Did you say MacBook or just
computer, whatever?
Okay.
No, computer, whatever.
Got you.
And I'm thinking, I said, why didn't you say that? Why didn't you just say, hey, we need a ride somewhere?
Can you come back?
I was so upset. And then he, I think, knew what he said when he said it. And I'm like, that wasn't smart.
Yeah.
I knew that wasn't smart. And guess what? After he said that to the taxi driver, we didn't hear from the taxi driver
for a long time.
We tried to call him, and then I knew it. I was like, damn. He would have came back, because if we said we had to go somewhere, he would have been, okay, great, more money for him. He didn't even know it was in his trunk.
But our landlord's husband is part of the military, and she kept on tagging that taxi driver number, got through, she threatened his behind, like my wife said, and he came back. So thank you so much.
It really scarred me where I feel like I can't even walk around with valuable stuff or leave stuff in my vehicle or, we do a lot of stuff with technology, our computers, our phones. Yeah. And I have a feeling now of being more uneasy than I remember, when I first got here. But, I'm slowly working on that. But that's what you have to watch out for here. You don't have to really be scared about someone just raping you or beating the mess out of you. Right. You don't have to worry about that in Ghana, which is a blessing. but you do have to worry about stuff being stolen at any given time. When people see an opportunity, not all people, but when some people see an opportunity, they will just take your stuff.
Exactly.
And it's not a big deal to them. It's not seen as a real big deal.
All right, so the second point that I want to make is about coming over here with a family. If you have a whole family, or if you're coming over here single. If you come over here single, it's much easier to just maneuver, get around, get things done. You can jump on trotros, taxis. You don't necessarily need a car. I mean, a car is good, but if you come over here with a family, you know, having transportation is like, I don't know how we can do without it. You know, we was without transportation for 6 months, and that was a challenge. But good thing we was close to public transportation. But at the right time, a car came into our lives, man. It really, really helped us. So it's a difference. You got to come here financially prepared, depending on your family size.
Yeah, and then especially if you want to have the kids partake in different events and things and go to school, that's a lot of driving around, especially if you have multiple children. It can be very taxing if you want to go out to eat, if you want to go to this event. You know, it's just a lot. So be prepared for the hassle that might take place by having a family in a new country. Again, like my husband said, if you're single, it's a lot easier. You can jump on trotros, taxis, motorcycles. You know what I'm saying? Get where you got to go. We're always doing so much and involved in so many different things and handling business, and we got to go here, that we need a vehicle. That's just for us. We really needed a vehicle, so we're glad we was blessed with that. So just be honest about what you need in another country and what, that's the word I'm looking for, and what your responsibilities are, because you can get drained very quickly if you know, if you have a lot on your plate. So just be mindful of that.
Some people come over here and they ship their whole life here. I recommend that you just keep things simple and just come here with what you can carry, because shipping can be a challenge. When we first came to Ghana, we had a challenge with shipping, you know, hidden fees, and we carried a lot of stuff with us, and we just end up only being in the country for 6 months. So we had to ship that stuff back. So the second time we came, we kept it real simple and just brought whatever we can carry. So, and that was a big help.
Yeah, and the last time I went back to the States, I really minimalized everything we had in storage. So our entire lives is like down to about 8 boxes and a little other, you know, miscellaneous items. But being also a minimalist as we travel and as we explore, it's a huge weight that's been alleviated off of our shoulders. We have less, and less is more a lot of the times. So when you get rid of clutter, when you get rid of things that you know you don't need, things that no longer serve you, when you only keep essentials and things that you really value, you can travel more freely. So right now, you know, we can pay very cheap storage, but our stuff currently is with my sister. But if we wanted to, we can have a very small storage space because we only have a few boxes. So I would recommend, if you can, to minimalize your life a little more, especially if you know you want to travel, and keep your stuff in the States or wherever your home base is until you figure out where you really want to be, because if you keep shipping stuff from here to there, that also racks up a lot of money.
Now for trash and waste, it could be a little unbearable here because they have a trash issue here in Ghana. And you know, a lot of the sewage is out in the open, and a lot of people have been complaining. Just recently, the government proclaimed that Accra is filthy, but they're gonna make it a goal to make Ghana the cleanest country in West Africa. So I was really surprised to hear that, because Ghana been having an issue with waste and trash for a very, very long time. You know, so, you know, you go to the local areas, some places are not nice, but you do have your beautiful areas, as you guys see. You know, this is a developing country, but, you know, I have a lot of Ghanaian friends, and they express themselves that they know that Ghana could do better. You know, it's a growing country. This country is very successful in many ways, and it's growing. So I'm really excited to see that part of Ghana in the future.
Yeah, also, there was a time that we went out, and that particular night I ended up falling in an open gutter, and it had filth, it had crap, it had all that stuff in it, and I lost my mind. I screamed. I was like, oh my God, I couldn't believe this happened to me. I never experienced that, so I was like, oh my God. And this awesome, lovely woman, she just pulled me to the side and started scrubbing me. She started washing my feet and everything because I snapped, y'all. I snapped. When I fell into that, it was out of nowhere. It was dark outside, and I just thought about how dangerous that is. And I was ready to throw my dress off. Like, I was ready to throw it off, and everybody was about to see the stretch marks. I was like, I don't care. Take this off of me. But she ended up pulling me to the side and just scrubbing me and washing me, and that was such a blessing because that was crazy. And then another time, I saw this older woman. This older woman, she ended up falling in a sewer as well, and that made me even more upset because it was an older, lady. And I'm just like, this is dangerous. It's dangerous. They shouldn't have these open sewers here, and it can be really frustrating. So you do have to be prepared for that when you come here, and understand that currently that is a part of Ghana, and I believe they're doing things to remedy that. But until then, it's something you have to get used to. Because for me, a big part of the things that I like is cleanliness, is open spaces, being clean and all that stuff. I love that. So it has been hard for me to go out in certain areas and see a lot of filth outside. But it is what it is.
Get your visas ready. Make sure you have a valid passport. Make sure you go ahead and submit for a visa. I think the Embassy of Ghana has office in DC and in New York. Mm-hmm. Go ahead and submit your paperwork, get your visas.
I think they recommended Washington. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's a nice tip for y'all. A lot of people send their paperwork to Washington, so choose DC. Submit it and get your visas. A lot of people come here and they just keep their visas up every month, so they can remain here. Some people have residency. Some people have citizenship.
And what about our residency situation?
Our residency situation is still pending, and we're going through a lot with that. That's the thing here in Ghana. You're doing anything dealing with important paperwork, it could be very slow here.
That's another reason why you don't want to pick up your life and be quick, because you don't know how long the process will take.
Exactly, but they're very lenient here.
Yeah.
I haven't experienced any issues with my visas, even if I went over. They're very, very lenient here. But Ghana's a beautiful place. You have to come here and you have to take your time.
Yeah.
That's one thing that our friend told us, like, take your time. Because when we came here the second time, even the first time, we was like, we want to buy land, we want to do this, we want to do that. Trust me, you'll come here with big ideas. Mm-hmm. Slow down. Just slow down. Get to know Ghana.
We didn't understand that. We was like, slow, patience. Mm-hmm. I don't know what patience is. What's that? Like, if you know this is where you want to be, then make moves, but still pace yourself. Yep. I would still say keep your piece of safety in the States or wherever your home is until you got things on lock here. Then you can start letting go of stuff once everything is really settled here. Mm-hmm.
Yep. It's on the real, it's really no right or wrong.
Right.
This is just our experiences and what people have told us. But come out here, man. You gotta check this place out. It's so interesting because even if people don't move to the continent, you gotta at least visit the continent. That's it. Have a connection. And it's beautiful, man. Look at this. Look at this, man.
And this has even been developed because when we was here the first time, none of this was here.
Exactly.
Like as far as all these things they're building. So it's a lot of things that's happening right now. And it's getting better. It's definitely getting better.
The internet over here, I would say, is okay. We've been having challenges with it. There's a few big companies out here. One of them being Vodafone, MTN. But when it comes to the Wi-Fi, you're really trying to do some work online, it's kind of tough because the internet will cut off and on. You're probably on the internet for a good 30 minutes and then it'll just cut off. You gotta make sure that you're in a good location where internet is strong. If you live too far, your internet may be weaker, depending on your carrier. But if you live closer in the city, the internet could be a little bit faster. So it's just different things, but the internet has been somewhat of a challenge for us.
On a scale of 1 to 10 in regards of being digital friendly for the digital nomads, when it comes to that here in Ghana, I would say Ghana probably is about, what would you say, babe? Like a 6, maybe?
I'm about to say a 7. Yeah.
A 7?
I'll give it a 6.
I think about a 6, which isn't horrible, but in our line of work, we really depend on the internet. And that's another thing. You may have to live in certain places where the internet is stronger, but it is unfortunate when you want to live somewhere that the internet just happens not to be, because I like where we live at. We live in the Oyarifa area. It's right near the mountains, right near Abri, and it's away from all the chaos. And it seems like where all the clutter and chaos is where the internet is best. So that's a little conflict, but overall it's decent. I can still watch my shows, my YouTube. Well, okay, for instance, this phone right here, this is my T-Mobile phone, okay? So I still have T-Mobile. The other phones we have is local, is Vodafone. But T-Mobile is unlimited, so I'm able to find good locations and I can watch my YouTube and stream all that stuff.
T-Mobile offers their service in Ghana.
And T-Mobile offers their service in Ghana, so they're connected to towers here. So it has been working out for me. When you use the phone locally here, your cell phone locally, and you watch your YouTubes and everything, it works well, but then the credit, you have to always add credit because it will run out. I don't have to worry about that with T-Mobile. I just pay my monthly fee and I have unlimited internet. It'll be great if they had more unlimited options here. They have a few that we heard of, a couple. We have to look into that, but it'll be great if they had that, like with the cell phones and all that stuff, because money goes. That's money that you keep paying just to do basic stuff. Now for me, well, for us, we're used to like living on the internet. What we watch is online, us doing businesses online, us going to YouTube school, you know what I'm saying, that's online. So I haven't been able to really delve deep into the things that I want to learn because of how the internet is. Because we're trying to manage our budget, and also I'm going to school. I'm going back to school, and I have a lot of streaming media that I have to watch, and that has been very difficult. So anyways, you just have to choose what's really important to you. Being a digital nomad is very important to us, and it hasn't been working out that well, but it's okay. It's not horrible, but you have to do your research to see what works best.
Exactly. So when you come here, you create your own oasis, you take your time, you meet people, see what works for you, see what doesn't work for you. And it just took us time. So it took us time just to find our flow. And what we do, we go to the Vodafone Wi-Fi spot down there at ANC Mall. If we want to do major uploads, that's how we upload our videos. We go to the Wi-Fi spot. It charges like 5 CDs for 3 hours, which is really good.
That's not bad. That actually has, the only that's really been helping me is being able to go to the Wi-Fi spot at Vodafone at the ANC Mall, because I can stream my media, go do my schooling, download videos, but it has been going out of the way for me. I really need an office setting at home. That's just for me, because we have so much responsibilities with the kids. Every time we drive into the city, it keeps taking out a lot of time out of my schedule. So for me, being at home would be best, but going to the good Wi-Fi spots has helped.
All right, y'all, that's it for now. Until next time, we're going to say peace.
Yeah.